Okay, you can almost see the corner of a red cap down in the corner of right here where my finger's pointing. Okay, we're going to start here and then we'll back off. Barely you can see that red corner of the red cap. That'd be like just a little part of it. And it's underneath all that stuff, so you can't really find it. Okay, this is a Saturn 2002. I'm going to talk about the transmission fluid. So I'm going to go around the car real quick. Alright, it's an L200. I just picked this up. So check this car out. From this angle, it doesn't look too bad, right? It looks okay. Body's great. I just put new tires, new wheel covers, and I just put some tape in this little hole. It's registered till June of 2024. The ride's fantastic now. You can see super clean inside. Right, inside's really clean. 87,000 miles. Most of this stuff works, unfortunately. As you can see, the switch is messed up here. Some issue with that. Had sap all over it. Got that off with rubbing alcohol. A couple containers of rubbing alcohol, but it needed new tires. Needed new wheel covers. Needed a transmission fluid filter. It needed oil filter. I replaced the coil pack and the plugs. Strangely enough, the coils came in the box, just rubber with no metal thing. The metal things came, the springs, they came in a separate package and you're supposed to assemble them. Like what a cheap damn part from China that's just garbage. Won't say where I got it, you know, maybe AutoZone or someplace like that, you know, could be AutoZone maybe. Anyway, whatever, you literally have to assemble the coils. It's a piece of rubber with a piece of metal. Like, seriously? I put the thing together. I didn't know that the separate package with the metal. I'm like, damn, this is weird. This doesn't look right, you know. So then I had to take, it didn't run, of course, so I had to take it apart and put the old coils back in. So we're going to do the transmission here in a minute, but that's basically the gear shifter mechanism on there. That's the PRNDL thing. So when you shift inside the car, that little thing shifts right there. You can see the top nut. And those are easy to replace. It doesn't look original. It looks like it might have been replaced. Anyway, whatever. This brake fluid's clean. This looks super clean. I don't know why it looks so clean in here, but it does. And then the fluids, they could use some refreshing. One way to do that is you just take it out with a turkey baster type thing and then put new stuff in and do that a few times, and you can kind of refresh some of that older fluid. It's not really a true fluid exchange. So you can see the car was hit, or the car hit something, and the front of it kind of got crushed in. You can tell it hit harder going down this way. Smashed it that way somehow, so he probably was going 50, 60 miles an hour, went in the back of a pickup truck, went into the bumper, some shit like that. I don't know. Anyway, you can see the frame here is definitely a little wider here than it is there, so the frame got bent. But does it drive straight? That's the main thing. Does it pull? Can it be fixed with an alignment? You come over to this side and you see quite a bit more space here than down there, so that supports the idea that the frame is bent. Probably can be fixed with an alignment. Didn't break a window, right? Didn't deploy an airbag. Strangely enough, you see a lot of these front end accidents and people say, like, I never wear a seat belt because I don't have to because I have airbags. No airbag deployment. You don't think the dude's face went straight into the top of the car? Dude, it did go into the... I can prove it to you too. Guy got seriously hurt. Look, his face hit that thing and he busted it all off. The pieces of it are in the trunk. I'll show you. But yeah, his face went planting into that part of the car. Back in the old day, all that stuff was made out of metal. Anyway, there's the part of the car that was, you know, it was attached to his face for a minute. Anyway, so a lot of work being done on the car. $500 into the tires, about another $500 into oils and parts and all that stuff. But the transmission on these, not a lot of videos. So the deal with a car like this is, does it run? Did it mess up the engine? Can it be salvaged, and is somebody willing to pay, right around $3,000 for it? So let's say I got it for, a certain price. I'll just make up some numbers. Say I got it for $1,600, and then I put almost $1,000 into it, so I got $2,600 into the vehicle, and it's taken me days of time to wash it, clean it, detail it, work on it, go get parts, go get the vehicle, pay somebody to drive it, all that stuff. So I'm factoring all that into, say, $1,000. So you got $1,600 plus $1,000 costs, $2,600. Dude, you got to make $200 a day at least, right? $250 a day at least. That's just the kind of money you should make minimally. Even though you did other stuff that day, you just think in terms of $250 a day at least. So then you got 3 days, that's $750. So if I got $2,600 into it and add another $600, that's $3,200. So I got $3,200 to $3,350. Is someone going to pay $3,350 for this car? Fuck no, not going to happen. But maybe I can make $500 off of it. All right. So to change the transmission, all right, you see these are the pan bolts all the way around. Okay, and then some people say on these vehicles you cannot check the transmission fluid level, which is not true. You can definitely check the transmission fluid level by that bolt right there. See that bolt right there? Okay, so you can see, I can't tell if this is filming exactly. All right, so there's my dog back there. All right, this is the driver tire. This is the transmission pan. Okay, this is a permanent gasket on here. You don't replace it with that flimsy rubber one. You be very careful. This is a non-compressible gasket. It has a steel core, metal core, and plastic or rubber on the outside. Okay, so you got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, I don't know, 15 bolts. They're 8mm. Here's how you do it. You get the car level, and you take out that bolt right there, and you put a pan down. Now my advice is don't do what I'm doing. There's no room under here. But you take that bolt off. I think it's 10mm. Might be 10, I don't know, 10 or 11mm. Maybe it's 11mm. Anyway, you take it off, park the car on a level surface, add transmission fluid to that place where the red cap was until transmission fluid comes out of that. Once transmission fluid comes out of it, put the plug back on and tighten it. Don't add any more. Then you remove these bolts with the pan underneath. You can start wherever and just let it drain, and then it's going to be a mess. There's no drain plug. That is not a drain plug. That's a fill check amount checking hole. There's no stupid drain plug. So don't go looking for one. Don't start taking stuff off thinking it's going to start draining. It won't. Okay, so then you get all that out. It's going to be hella messy. There's a little flat magnet in there. If there's not, add a magnet for sure. So look in the magnet, see what you see. If you see big chunks of metal, oh hell, you're screwed. If you see little, dust-looking metal stuff, that's normal. Okay, so then if you have the non-compressible, the permanent gasket, put it back on. All right. You do not need to check this again. Here's the reason why. If that's full, if transmission fluid came out of that hole, then when you measure the amount of fluid you take out, then that's the amount of fluid you put back in. So here's the problem. You're going to add to that little hole. You're going to have to go up and down, up and down, up and down. And you're going to check and see. As soon as the fluid comes out, stop adding. All right, then the container that you're going to use for this, don't mix the two together because then you're going to mix too much. After you're done and you start with a fresh container, let's say you take out 5 quarts, something like 5 quarts, right? The system holds a bunch more than that, but a lot of that transmission fluid stays in the system. It stays in the parts inside the transmission. It doesn't come out when you do a pan drain. So don't mix it up. Start fresh. If you take out 5.5 quarts, 5¼ quarts, 5 quarts, whatever it is, whatever you take out, you put that much back in, and you knew that that was full. Here's the other thing. There's a filter right here. Okay, be real careful. The filter's right inside there. It has a flange. If the old flange is good, do not replace the flange or you'll be under here for another half of an hour. Okay, I'll show you why. All right, so the plastic filter comes with this flange. Same with like the Chevy Malibu, I think the Chevy Impala. I hate this thing. So this thing's made out of metal, and you can see it has rubber on the inside and has a little rubber right around the edge, and it needs to go back in there. Well, to get the old one out, you have to pry it out. These don't come out easily. So you dig a screwdriver in there on the edge, you're trying to pull it out, you're scratching everything. It's a pain in the neck. Look, if this thing works fine, just don't even use this. I didn't. I did once on a Malibu, man. That was a pain. Anyway, just pop the old one out. It's plastic. These two pieces come separate. And this is bouncing around inside the box. So you take the old one out, check the old one. When you pull it out, see if the flange came with it. 99.99% of the time it won't, because it's jammed in there so hard it's unbelievable. And when you try to get this thing in, you're going to wonder, how the hell, there's no way in the hell this thing fits inside here, right? If it's the tiniest little bit off, man, it's not going to go up in there, and that's a very soft metal. So that's the deal. All right, so then to fill up the transmission, what a pain. God, what a pain in the butt. You know, it must be nice to be rich. You don't have to do all this crap. You know, you could be rich. All right, looks like, maybe don't have, oh, here it is. Okay, so anyway, so you're going to want to get something like a funnel, get something like a, tube, right? Stick it on the end of the funnel. This is going to be fun. You got to take off that cap, right? You can see the edge of it. Basically, you can see the edge of it. It's just really hard to see, but it's there. It's right here where my finger is. Okay, my finger, it's right there. That's the cap. So it's hard to get off. I don't want to take it off. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this. Sucks. All right, I'm gonna take it off. Hopefully I don't drop it. You drop it, it falls on some of that pan down there. Man, if it's hot, you gotta reach in there and get it. Oh my God, get all burned and stuff. So all right, here's the stupid cap underneath every damn thing, right? So it's got an O-ring on it. So it's about the size of, you should be able to see how the tube should be able to fit in there. You might want to get a little smaller tube, but whatever, it's about the right size. Anyway, you want to pour in your transmission fluid slowly, as many of you have learned. If you pour it in too quick, it just bubbles all over the place. It makes a hell of a mess. Alright, so then you got to get the stupid cap back in underneath all this crap, which are just like, what freaking nerdy ass engineer, so stupid with his stupid computer screen and his stupid architectural designs, his head so far up in his cloud of, dude, you got so goddamn much room in this car. You got so fucking much room in here, man. You could put a whole nother engine, and they can't figure out a way that you don't got to reach underneath all these tubes. What a bunch of idiots. Should make all these engineers get out here and fucking change transmission fluid and stuff. Or just watch them get burned and hurt and scratched up and stuff. Say, now go ahead and go design a damn car, you idiot. Fucking idiot. So whatever. Even if you're a mechanic who works in a dealership, you're just like, who's so stupid they put the cap that has to be screwed on and off right underneath these damn things? Like, do they hate people who have to work on cars or something? Maybe it's feminists. Maybe feminists are the ones who design this shit because they hate men. They're just like, fuck, man, you have to go ahead and try to get that cap off. I don't know, man. You can never do anything right anyway. Don't you know if you just remove all those tubes and just take all this stuff off, you could easily remove the cap. Yeah, just spend an extra hour and a half taking everything apart, and you never have to do what I'm doing. It's just idiocy. Alright, see, that's how long it took. Now I'm still twisting this dumb thing to get it back over the O-ring. Alright, I think it's on. How stupid is that? Jeez, look at all this extra room, some idiot. Anyway, that's how you get the transmission fluid in. It takes about 5 quarts as far as I could tell, man. I don't know. I wasn't measuring exactly perfect because I had some left over in a bottle from before, so all I can say is it seemed like it was about 5 or 5 1/4 quarts. I don't know, man. Sometimes a flip can work, sometimes not so much. We'll see how this goes.